Excellent. There we go. Hey, Yosef, how you doing?
Hi guys, I think I made it. It's the first time I'm doing this Discord call, but it looks much better than the Telegram, at least.
Yeah,
You know how this
agreed.
changed on my screen.
Much agreed. Much agreed. And then I think that's. Uh, do you see the invite to speak, Alvaro? There we go.
Yep. Can you hear me? Just waiting to. Oh, there we go. Invite to speak to. There we go. All right.
Excellent. Excellent. Looks like we have everyone here.
We made
Hello,
it.
everybody. Thank you for attending our first Discord community call. Yeah, I'm impressed about how many people just jump in, and I know we have a great community. And thank you for that.
Of course, of course. Still, for the first one, and especially from having a community on Telegram coming over to Discord, very impressive to get this many people to turn out. I noticed that there's a lot of questions and everything like that, and I just want to remind the community, and for those who weren't here when I did mention it, we're going to save the questions for after the updates. That way, we're not getting into repetitive questions or anything like that. So I guess since everyone's here, we can go ahead and start this call off. My name's Grizzly. Right now, I'm a partner with Eternity Cloud. I do come from a Web3 background, working at Parity, the implementers of Polkadot, working the Aleph Zero ecosystem, and now coming in to help out on the community side with Eternity Cloud. Alvaro, if you want to go ahead and kind of introduce yourself for those who might not be familiar with you.
Absolutely. Name's Alvaro. Been in the Web3 space for a few years as well. Worked with Banger, Quan, and especially Cornell, which is a community I love and appreciate. And now, for the past 4 months, with Eternity, which has been a fantastic roller coaster. There's nothing I like more than a good ride, and this is being it. And I couldn't be more excited to see what's going to happen and to count with all of you guys for the next month, because the times have never been more challenging. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of exciting, because now more than ever, community is, like, you guys are what drive and what make projects. So I'm really excited to see how we're gonna make that happen, because I truly believe that we are.
Excellent. I appreciate that. And I know that more than probably half of y'all, 3/4 of y'all, are familiar with Yosef and Ion. But for any, I do see a few new faces in the crowd after doing, some research myself into the community. So maybe just give y'all, yourselves a quick intro to those who are new.
Hi guys. As Grizzly mentioned already, most of you know me already when I started this project, and we went together through a very long and very challenging ride from the beginning to where we are today. We went through a phase that was, I'd say, very successful. I'll follow up with more details on that. For the people that don't know me personally yet, I'm 40 years old. I'm leader, founder, and I came with the idea of Eternity Cloud back in 2017. And I'm still driving the project now, and I'm hoping to bring it as further as possible towards the global expansion of our community, because this product is, I consider, a genius, and I want it to be used everywhere as much as possible, because I'm pretty sure everybody needs and wants this. It's just a matter of they knowing about it and how it works.
Much appreciated. Ion, if you want to go ahead and intro yourself as well for the new members.
Of course, for the one who doesn't know me, I'm Ioan. I am a part of Eternity Cloud project since September 2021, when I follow up with Yosef and the rest of the team. I follow up Yosif's dream and the other guy's dream, and I was like the business development officer, and now I fill the role of a CEO. And
Oh,
yeah, COO. And I just hope together with you guys we can drive this project where he belongs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ion. Really appreciate that. So now that we have everyone introed, and all the new members are kind of familiar with those of us who are on the team, I want to go ahead and kind of turn it over to Alvaro. You do want to go ahead and kind of go over the purpose of this call to the community.
Absolutely, man. Thanks. Appreciate your moderation skills and your partnership and collaboration. You've been so much help since you guys joined and we partnered. So basically, guys, as you know, the core of our community has been on Telegram for the good part of the existence of the project. And we're super proud of not only having the numbers we have, but having the participation and the level of engagement across, languages and countries, right? The activity in the Romanian is so intense that I have to be calling Ioan and Joseph every day to follow up with what's happening, because unfortunately, even though it's also a Roman tongue, I don't understand it, although I'm getting there. But the reality is that going forward, we want to adapt to two different things. One is the type of target that we want to bring in, right? And how we want to, in the direction that we want to grow the community. And two is the locations and the audiences that we want to reach, both obviously in terms of target and in terms of, geographical and language, right? And for that, we really believe that Discord is the place, but not only in terms of potential growth, but also of the capacity for you guys to actually communicate with us and to feel like this is a place where you're at home, right? Where we can actually interact and we can talk a bit more often. I know that's been a request from you guys, and we've been studying and thinking about the way to do so. And our main conclusion is that Discord is really the place to be, both because of what I just said. We want to have you be more comfortable, and we want to have the space for the people that we want to attract, and how we want to grow the community, especially on the developer side, right? Because that's our next step in our growth. And we really believe that Discord is the place. So the first purpose of this call is to kind of reamp and reopen the doors to this community, which had already it was there. It's been there for a while, but it's true that our focus was more on Telegram. So of course we would love all of you guys that are on Telegram. You're here, and we really appreciate it. But we're not we're not going to ask everyone over on Telegram to come. We're happy to have people on each channel. That's the beauty of marketing. Each channel has its purpose, but we're very excited to keep growing on Discord with more events, more chats. We're launching a new ambassador program, which we'll cover later on. And so anyway, in any case, we're super excited about that, and that's the main purpose of kind of this call being where it is, which is here on Discord. Because guys, I mean, I don't have to explain this to you. I think we are all very much aware of the conditions that we are in the market, right? So planning the marketing for this has been, like I said before, a huge challenge, right? Because the strategies of a bull run market do not work now. The giveaways, the PRs and the spending money on KOLs, launching on all these different exchanges, that isn't really a strategy that works these days for many different reasons. Now, what does work, because it really is the best to do, is, in my opinion, two things: to have an amazing product and a product that works and that people believe in, and to have the people that believe in it so much that they want to share it because they're so they believe so much in it that they're a part of it, which is the case of the over 66 people that we have here right now. You guys are here because you are true believers, and I know Grizzly, that you were impressed the day you came in with the quality of the guys that we have here in our community because of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, even on checking out the Telegram community, seeing how active it is and how engaged everyone is there. I see a lot of friendly faces, and in the crypto community that can be rare. And so to have like a whole community that is pretty friendly and pretty accepting is awesome. I myself, even on Discord, I see a change in pace here, and it's starting to pick up now, where the community is coming in and seeing what we're asking and seeing our vision even. So it's great to see this because as Alvaro spoke about the market conditions, it has been tough in that it's really a testament that Eternity Cloud is still pumping out PRs on GitHub and still working hard on developing everything out and getting this community to the levels that it hasn't seen yet. So it's a testament. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
and because I really believe that community is what's going to make this project go forth. I'm seeing some of the questions Drenz are talking about, and I know there's questions, and that's also why we're doing this, because we want to align, we want to be transparent, and we want you guys to see the work that we've been doing, and we also want to address your questions and a lot of the talk that's been happening in the past, right? Which is I think also one of the main purposes of this call, and I know that you guys are excited about that as well. So that's, I
Yeah.
think, my piece there. And
Yeah, Alvaro, actually, it's a good thing you bring this up, Chris Lee. Our community and the project was challenged as well, same as others. What is different with us is that we, instead of stopping, we actually accelerated because we identified where the issues were. This way, from this position, I want to address the false rumors in regards to our financial situation, the company's financial situation, because the team always took the best decisions at the time, and later on, of course, some members had their own divergent opinions, which is okay. And those opinions do not represent the company decision, the group. So that what I can say is that I can reassure you that these suppositions were created by misunderstandings, or maybe with the aim to damage the chain of trust of the project. The timing of launching those suppositions says all about the nature of these actions, so I don't want to comment further on it. We have taken all the measures to clarify these situations internally, and we're going to ride throughout the planned statutory audit process, which includes the inspection of the company's financial records, with the estimated delivery at the end of October. Also, there were some rumors about the VFA application and things around that aspect. And I think Yuan can give us an update on that. If you can provide an update, I think would be really nice.
Yeah, of course, Josif. By providing an update, I just want to mention that we've started the VFA application process in March 2022, and I just want to mention that the process requires a lot of regulatory expertise for having a successful result, right? Because this is what we are targeting for. We did not want to rush things out, which could lead to a negative result. So we looked for the best experts to help us, and finding the expertise is not an easy task. And we took measure to extend the licensing process timeline while we engage with those experts I was talking about without introducing any impact in the timeline of the product development and launch. And this is very important. And I just want to mention that the token can be licensed post-launching, and that's gonna make it more desirable asset for any institutional investors, and why not giving the whole project a more bigger value. So the VFA, it's an ongoing process. We are taking care of that almost daily, and yeah, we're gonna achieve it for sure.
Just to kind of
Thank
speak on
you.
these
Yeah.
kind of processes, coming from a company like Parity myself, dealing with, obviously I'm not a regulatory expert or anything like that, but I did help teams in this process, and it with crypto being so new in the institutional side, like the processes there are just, they're slow, and it definitely is a blocker in itself. And I just hope the community, hearing that even the bigger teams like Parity, Polygon, Labs, they deal with this kind of blocker in terms of the regulatory aspect. So it is an unfortunate part of our industry, but as time has gone on, we see more and more institutions kind of coming in and setting the groundwork for this to kind of be expedited. So being around since 2017, there's been many changes for Eternity Cloud to have to deal with in terms of regulatory environment as well. Before 2020, the U.S. really wasn't involved in regulating crypto. Now, after everyone's kind of looking at them and the EU for like leadership in this aspect. So it is a time-consuming process and is probably one of the biggest blockers in the entire crypto industry. So just giving my 2 cents on that.
Thank you, Grizzly. It's, however, a very necessary process. The reason why we started with this project and we invested so much time into this effort is to bring the token, which is now ECLD token. That's the reason why we actually created a new token, because the new token has all the elements in the white paper to make it regulatory, from a regulatory perspective, accepted. This is not an easy process. So we go through it, and that's why we decided this strategy: create a new token that's totally regulated, perfectly accepted, and then a conversion phase between the two, and then everybody's happy on these aspects. Further, as you might have realized, we're moving the project into a totally new phase. The initial phase was concluded with the mainnet launch on Bloxburg, and I can say the team delivered a wonderful product, very appropriate to the phase the project was in. The new phase, however, requires new people with different skill sets and a wider experience globally. Therefore, the project attracted some of the best talent in marketing and technology for a company that's evaluated between $16 and $32 million after only 2 years of activity. In this aspect, we're growing a marketing team which has experience with other globally successful projects, as you have seen here, leading as of now to the number of 8 people engaged with Eternity Cloud Marketing. So this includes, of course, Alvaro and Grizzly. In regards to our tech team, I want to announce for the first time that we have a new CTO, which has worked and managed various projects around the world, from Brunei Palace to Al Jouf Electricity in Saudi Arabia, from Sydney Refinery to maintenance management for the Greek Parliament to signaling for London Subway, and handwritten recognition with neural networks. So he's a very high expert that worked in big global impact projects. I am confident we will be able to fulfill the requirements and bring vision for developing the next phase of the project. Alongside, we're engaged with a team of 6 committed developers, which reassures the consistent delivery at utmost higher standards as of now. Of course, we as a team are always on lookout for talented people, and this is a message for the community. Looking forward to complete our mission, as well as investors interested come on board. So feel free to reach us out so we can discuss how we can join activities. I just wanted to go over this aspect to clear out some of the, let's say, questions people had, which I think is best to do it this way. and then we can resume with our AMA.
You wanted to open up questions for this part?
We can open, or let's go through the agenda, and then we can open up questions for everything. I think it's easier like
Okay.
this.
Yes. Sorry about that. I misheard you. But yes, I do appreciate you giving that information to the community. It's been an amazing journey, even just on my part being here. I've seen amazing strides being taken by the team and by the community. So, speaking of this, strides on the team, I do want to go ahead and kind of give the mic over to Yon, and let him kind of give you a few updates on, what's been happening this month. So, Yon, if you want to go ahead and take over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Grizzly. So the most important thing, I just want to remember the new agent version. We call it 3.1.1. We just released it last week. I want to remember that in this new version, we have focused on including the Node.js templates as we initially promised, in addition of the already existing Python templates. And I want to mention that it's very important that now it's possible to configure a local IPFS service, which will speed up the download and the transfer process. Yeah, and we are very happy and proud in the same time to announce that we are almost ready for the mainnet launch on Polygon, which is around the corner. And from our point of view, this is a very significant milestone as we take big steps towards for Eternity Cloud project. Also, after the mainnet launch on Polygon, we are going to open the swap app that will allow users to swap the ETNY token to ECLD token. And that's going to happen one by one with no extra fees involved, right? So the ECLD token has the same utility as the ETNY, along with the potential of monetization, right? And that open. The next short-term milestone, the listing event, that is also around the corner, and it's set for late October, early November, as we have mentioned on the roadmap. More details also will be shared with you guys, with our community, as we get closer to the event. So that's another reason to stay on the channels, communicate, and get the news regarding those great events that's going to happen in the future, in the next future.
Wow, thanks for that. It seems like we've been really busy in the month of September going into October. This is an exciting time, and I realize that, a lot of people, it seems like, are getting they're getting excited now, and that's great to hear because, we have a lot of exciting things coming up over the next few months as well. And this is where I'll kind of let Yosef go over some of the longer term things that will be going on with Eternity Cloud. Yosef?
Yeah. Let me see. So for Eternity Cloud, we're looking at having a, let's say, extended the vision to what it has been so far. Before going forward, I'd like to point out that the vision of decentralization confidential computing I had back in 2017 has been materialized into a product which is usable today, and it's ready to enter the market. Today, we can read various market research reports reaffirming this vision. And then, even though it happened 6 years ago, to me, it seems it just happened yesterday. And although it happened 6 years ago when the term didn't exist, today we can actually use it and harness the power of decentralized confidential computing. I want to discuss a bit about the vision I have inside or around the AI space. in this vision, everything comes together in a much more robust technology. In confidential AI, the trustless and the immutable nature of the blockchain technology enhances the security and the auditability of AI algorithms, ensuring data remains confidential and tamper-proof. Additionally, EthernityCloud's token incentives can attract top-tier AI talent, fostering innovation while maintaining data privacy. This ecosystem provides a robust platform for developing and deploying cutting-edge confidential AI solutions, making it a valuable choice for organizations seeking to harness the power of AI while safeguarding their data and intellectual property. We're engaging with multiple entities in building a plan around how to harness the actual value of the ecosystem for confidential AI processing. This might lead to releasing a new token, which we will announce at the right time. But this is a vision. The vision is of a ecosystem that uses AI like day by day without having to worry your data that you share with the AI, it's somehow taken advantage or abused by anyone else. Then, of course, for this vision to happen, there's certain elements that have to happen as well. One is the element, it's upscaling our ecosystem. Upscaling means using technology that scales vertically. In our case, one of the obvious technologies we're looking at is container orchestrations. As we know, our technology is based on containers to run tasks at operator level, and upgrading the operator agent to handle resources efficiently to a set of rules and policies the operator can define. It's something that we are seeking. And the future does not consist of only small size devices. I know we have this small size operator nodes, which can do some of the mundane tasks. But servers capable of processing using confidential computing power way above and beyond what we have today available in the market. This is our aim. With the news from NVIDIA from this late spring, it is clear that GPU manufacturers are entering this confidential computing market, providing GPU post-processing as an alternative to CPU processing, further increasing exponentially the computing power that can be attained on an operator node, and of course, in the whole ecosystem. This is what we're seeking in the next period, and this is what we were aiming at. Then, of course, looking at what we have today, we're looking at decentralization as well. The processing of data and the process of having this data used or processed in a decentralized way has been achieved already. However, this processing must be validated. Right now, I have brought this validators idea in the past into discussions as part of the NFT rewards program. And I can confirm we're testing and we're working on a patent draft that allows these validators to be engaged in the ecosystem with minimal cost of operations. Today, the data owner is reassured and he can check himself that his data was not exposed at any time or any step in the process. Introducing validators allows the ecosystem to reassure also external parties that the processing concluded in a trustless manner. So this is where further decentralize the ecosystem brings benefits for everybody, any party involved. Another part of the decentralization efforts, it's also the opening the way of anyone to run what we call a certification attestation server, further expanding decentralization of ecosystem at all key points. We started with the operators, And we continue with the validators and the CAS, the Certificate Extension Server. Also, the ultimate goal, I expressed this between, let's say, parties in the past. The ultimate goal is to have a DAO governing the ecosystem. A globally distributed DAO ensures that the future of the project will never be compromised by a handful of people. I know it's maybe too early to speak about this. However, recent events reinforce the need of such a governance model to be integrated into the ecosystem at all levels. My personal focus is to integrate such governance model, decentralized, fair, and efficient, and looking forward to any discussions on this topic as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that, Joseph. That's an amazing update, for the long-term vision of Eternity Cloud. There's been so many changes, and to have your vision be consistent throughout, all these changes and kind of, come to life is nothing short of amazing. There's a lot of things coming up, spoken previously from Yon. One of those things that we do want to kind of talk about is post-listing. I think we all know, it is coming up. So I do want to kind of hand this over to Alvaro and let him kind of go over, kind of what's going on afterwards. So Alvaro?
Thanks, guys. Right. So I think one of the main questions and concerns and inquiries is about first marketing and what are the actions that we're going to take to prepare for listing, and then what's happening also after listing at a general communications level. And like I said before, it's been a unique challenge. First, to be able to cater for a more technical audience like yourselves and the node operators or even for developers. And secondly, because of the market conditions, right? In my opinion, like I said before, and I don't say it to blow anyone's horn, I say it because I truly believe it. The marketing that works is community marketing, right? So we've kind of shifted our focus towards that, and hence, this being the first call of many. And so what we're going to do is really focus on how to bring in developers to the community and how to provide value for the developers so that we take the next step in growing the ecosystem, right? So now we start having transactions on chain, and then clients can finally come on board, right? So for that, we've allocated a total of 1% of our supply for grants programs, right? At the moment, we are working at 3 different levels to spread out our chances of reaching different communities, right? So we're having 3 different partners. We announced the first one in Gosh. The second one will be announced soon, and we also announced the collaboration with Bacon Basket, led here by Grizzly, and their efforts, right? Because you guys are in touch with so many different communities, including Polkadot and Polygon, that that's also going to be very exciting, right? So the grant program is a process many of you, I'm sure, are aware of, that begins with recruiting, follows up with giving access, allowing people to access the net through tokens, and to be able to build and test and develop, and finally and it ends with hackathon, right? So like I said, we're developing that process simultaneously through 3 different channels to reach a variety of communities, and that process started over a month ago, and we're going to see further movement and advances all throughout this month, and then mostly after post listing, that's going to be the major focus. So that's, to me, that's the biggest, let's say, focus of our main point of focus, but it's not the only one. I think we've put, and we can talk about this as well, Grizzly, about the bounty campaigns that we want to set up. We're trying to look at this concept of decentralized marketing, again, how to have our community be the ones that get rewarded for spreading the word, and not people outside the community, which is, whether that be KOLs or people of influence, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, we want to share with our people, right? And that to me happens through in at least at one level through the ambassadors program, which we already have, and I want to give a shout out to a few of our ambassadors which are here. Yarislav, Dimitri, Radu, thanks for coming. I'm sure I'm missing a few more out there. Alex, you guys really you're there for the community. The community trusts you, and I think that you guys serve as a template of what we wanna build, and that comes through the Discord, through the new ambassador program that we're gonna be launching. That's gonna be on Discord, of course. So we'll be announcing that soon. We launched the forum. We got a great amount of replies on that. We're super proud. Over 60 people qualified to get it done, and that's just the beginning, right? So those are going to be our two focal points in terms of what's going to be happening, how we're going to be growing the community. We have also a few events that we're going to attend, but this is all about growing the ecosystem in a way that allows us all to see the profits of it, right? At the end of the day, we're a DPIN, which is something incredibly new. And there's not that many out there, and we should already be proud that we've done what we've done with over 3,800 nodes, and yeah, I'm super excited to keep looking forward, for sure.
I appreciate that, Alvaro. It's it really is saying something. We're in a Web3 world now. It's here, and I don't think it's what everyone expected, but we're definitely kind of maneuvering ourselves into that kind of setting, right? Nowadays, we're seeing that the community needs to be involved with these projects. These hackathons need to be held to kind of find the hidden talent in the ecosystems. There's more and more teams that are working together to solve solutions that, just a year and a half ago, they were considered competitors and everything. We're seeing a lot of change happen. And so, getting ready for that, preparing for these kind of changes, and pushing along definitely takes a lot of support from the community. And so again, guys, we're sitting here at 79 members in this community call, and it's nothing short of impressive. Like, this is almost 80 people. We can consider it 80 people that are wanting to see the project go further than it's gone before. And that's amazing support, and it all starts with this community. Going online and being an evangelist for Eternity Cloud, going, talking about this with your friends. I'm sure everyone has done that, and we just want to thank you for it. And this is kind of our track to pay you back for all the support so far. And this is what we're trying to do to kind of elevate to that next level. And it really does start with the community. With that being said, I do want to just kind of hand it over to Owen real quick. I know he wanted to say a few words, and then we will go ahead and open it up to some community questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Grizzly, again. I just want to mention that the past couple, or maybe the past 3 months, I would say, have been a real testament of our will to make it far. So we successfully launched our mainnet on Bloxberg when we are days away from launching our Polygon mainnet, So from our perspective, this is going to open a world of possibilities for Eternity Cloud. And as Yoshi mentioned, we have future plans. So Eternity Cloud journey doesn't stop here, guys. And speaking about this journey, it's essential to mention how vital the community is for, I would not say for Eternity Cloud, I would say it for every Web3 project. There's no Web3 project without the community. So I just want to mention that your support, your engagement and enthusiasm brought us where we are here today. And we truly value and appreciate our community and look forward to achieve greater, and we are dreaming even higher milestones together with you guys in the future. So I just want to finish by saying a very, very big thank you to all the community that is supporting Eternity Cloud. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you for that, Yon. Really appreciate that. Now we are going to go ahead and kind of open it up to community questions. That I have been keeping track of those of you who have been typing questions in the chat. Some of them I didn't get to catch the username, unfortunately, but I do have the questions. I'll kind of ask them, and you know, Yon, Yosef, or Alvaro, whoever kind of wants to answer it, can just kind of take over once I ask. So the first one is, you know, Dominic, and are there any upcoming partnerships or anything like that before the launch date? Yeah, so I don't think we can really, technically we can't answer that question, but I'll see if anyone can, and maybe if there is some info that we can give. Yeah, I unfortunately,
Alvaro, maybe you wanna, but make sure you don't spoil anything. But maybe you wanna say a couple of words. I think you did mention some number, but it's not limited there. So yeah, if you want to answer that, would be nice.
I'm sorry, guys. I completely missed out on that question. Could you repeat that again?
are there any upcoming partnerships that we can speak of?
Oh, I mean, we I don't want to
Without spoiling anything, yeah, it might be one that we can't really speak of, but if I think Yosef was saying, if maybe you could just say a few words about it.
Yeah, sure. So you know, it's related with the scientific community, and they've got a community of over 80,000 researchers, and you know, it's going to be a great opportunity for us. And on that front, and then on the developer side as well. I mean, all the partnerships that we are looking to announce pre-listing are all related with big developer communities or big Web3 communities that are going to not only give us access to their communities, but actually be part of what we're doing, whether it's in the grants program or whether it's with running the hackathons themselves. All right. So I'm sorry I can't give you any more names, but they'll be coming soon, I promise.
Thank you for that, Alvaro. The next question is by Liviu Tanasi, I think. I'm sorry, guys, if I mess up your names. I am learning the you know, how to pronounce everything correctly in the native tongue, so bear with me, guys. But they did ask, you know, we already have companies interested in our product that are waiting for Polygon mainnet or anything like that. Do we already have any companies interested in our product? And I think, you know, unfortunately, that kind of does fall under, you know, the partnerships thing. So we can't really speak on these kind of things, but we do, you know, there are people in the pipeline, right? Can we speak of who? No, unfortunately. But just know we are working on it. I do see that Ed with double D, if anyone's watched Ed, and Eddie, he's asked this question a few times, so I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. Does IPFS lower the internet usage, and with how much, if so? That's a question for Yosef.
Yeah, of course. The IPFS doesn't lower the internet usage. The IPFS uses the internet to transmit in a decentralized way data through peer-to-peer communication. We use it as a means of storage for the data that's been transferred for processing. And it does use some of the internet capacity. Of course, it has, with the default settings, it's using a lot of internet connections. However, with the Eternity agent setup, that number is lowered, I think, to 50, if I'm not mistaken, either 30 or 50. In one of our anterior commits, the one we did in the summer. So this should decrease the impact on your, let's say, broadband connection. What we did in the last update also, which was released last week, we allowed a way of for the users or for the operators to set up their own IPFS server locally, and then point their nodes to this IPFS system. The reason we did that because we realized some of the members of the community set up multiple systems, 10, 20, 30 sometimes. If there are so many systems and IPFS is running on each of them, it doesn't, I mean, it does use the capacity of the network. And maybe it's not the best configuration. So that's why we created this setting. And Adrian also wrote a very nice article because he did set it up. The first person that set it up during testing, it was him. And he had very good results out of it. And yeah, then we tested further, and we pushed the commit publicly last week. So yeah, if you could go through his article, you will see some the way he did it. I mean, now anyone can do their own setup differently, but the configuration is there, so they can set up their nodes where they don't have an IPSS system service anymore, and they rely on an external. And the external IPFS system could be configured as it wished by the operator. You can do advanced settings there to optimize the use. So that's up to everybody to anyone doing this to make it whereas the best impact on the quality of the connection they have. Because if you have like a very high speed internet connection, then maybe you don't worry about it. But you have like a 3G, or now it's 5G, but if you have like a very old, not even LTE connection somewhere remotely, yeah, that having so many systems in one place, it's not a good architecture, or needs to be reviewed by an engineer and have the software set up correctly. But we enable this, so it can be done easily without modifying the code of the agent, but rather setting up some parameters. So I hope this answered your question.
Much appreciated, Yosef. I do see that there's a few questions that have, been asking about the central exchange listing. Unfortunately, guys, due to the way these things are structured, like we cannot mention any names. I'm really sorry about that. I know everyone wants to know about this, and it's information that everyone's excited about, but to keep our community protected and ourselves and everything like that, we can't mention any names. So, if you did ask this question and you feel like it's getting ignored, it's not, we just can't answer it, unfortunately. Okay, so like I've been trying to get the easy questions out of the way. There are some a little bit tougher questions in here, but let me just make sure. Let's see. Let me see. All right. So one question that I've seen that's been asked, a few times, is that can we speak on the developing regarding the vesting of tokens, like so people can see the amount of tokens available. This was asked twice. So if anyone wants to kind of go in and answer this one.
Yeah, maybe you want to answer it. It's on your lane.
Yes, of course. Everybody will be able to see the amount of tokens that they have, locked tokens and unlocked tokens, right? So when they will connect the wallet to the swapped app, in the swapped app interface, they will be able to see how many tokens are locked and how many tokens are unlocked in that wallet they are connecting on the swapped app. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for that. All right, I do see this one. This one was asked twice. I think why did you say there will be listed tier 1? Okay, so again, about the exchanges and everything like that, I don't want you to feel like we're ignoring this question. Just unfortunately, we can't mention any names. And there's, with tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, it can be kind of subjective. So, I don't want you to feel like this is being ignored. We see the question. We just can't really say much on this. Like, if anything was said in the past, I don't want to, get anyone hopes up or anything like that. Just know that, there's a serious push right now within the team to get this, you know, on the road and to get Eternity Cloud its name out there. And, you know, that is something that, you know, I can promise you that we're trying our hardest on. So, you know, Drinzer, I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you or anything like that. It's just a hard question to answer. You know, so I hope you can appreciate that at least. So let's see, how long is the swap DApp? How long is it going to last? That is the next question. If anyone wants to kind of take over from there. If that question makes sense, I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course it makes sense. So the swapped up will be last at least 4 years. Basically, that will last 5 years. So from the moment we have launched the staking. So the staking we have launched in November last year. So starting from November last year, 5 years.
Excellent. Thank you for that. The next one I see
Well,
is...
sorry, Grizzly, but that
go ahead.
doesn't mean we cannot make it more longer. That's the minimum, right? I just want to add this.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Sorry, I missed this one as well. Are we going to have a new way of staking for ECLD token on Polygon Network? Yeah, who wants to answer that one?
I will answer that. So currently we have plans to have it for ETNY. In order to have it for the ECLD token, there's a couple of legal, let's say, regulatory aspects that we have to, because staking a virtual token, it's easy, but staking a virtual financial asset is totally different. So from this perspective, the plan for now is to keep the staking as it is and the rewards in ETNY. However, the operator nodes can be operating on other networks. So as soon as the mainnet, the Polygon ECLD mainnet on Polygon is launched, we can have operators mainly run on Polygon, and for that activity they are paid in ETNY through the staking program. I hope that makes sense and closes the loop on a few questions that were asked in the past as well. However, a staking program for Polygon network is still in discussion. There's no clear timeline due to external factors, as I mentioned.
Much appreciated. Again, for the questions that kind of relate to, you know, any issues that that arise in Telegram, you know, those do kind of need to be put those questions towards the moderators of those channels. Unfortunately, you know, I can't really answer them here. As well as any technical questions, like if you're not receiving rewards or anything like that, go ahead and put those in the technical channels as well. Now, Bogdan had a great list of questions here that I do want to kind of get through real quick. Okay, that was our... Okay, are the nodes going to function migrate into Polygon? I think you just answered that, correct, Yosef?
Yeah, I think so. Can you ask again? Sorry,
Are the nodes going to function migrate into Polygon network or parallel?
Yeah, we will. Yeah. Well, after the launch of the mainnet and the swap, then we will launch the possibility for the operators to switch or automatically set up their node, which means if they have gas for if it's an automated mode, if they have gas for Polygon, if they have Matic, it will automatically connect to Polygon instead of Bloxberg and operate there. So basically, all they have to do is update the latest version and then fill the node wallet with Matic and restart, and that's it. And then they operate on Polygon. So that's let's say we try to make it as simple as possible. Of course, we will provide some documents and guidelines, some articles how to do it. Yeah, this is it's coming down the pipeline.
Thank you for that. And then going into the fourth and fifth, we'll kind of combine these questions. when are we going to have a new NFT round sell, and when are the NFTs going to be linked to the ecosystem? Is there a timeline for
that? For that, we postponed this because we, as we went through this year, we missed some deadlines on the core product, so we want to deliver on time for that, and then now we're moving forward, and we postponed this reward service for NFTs development for next year. Meanwhile, what we do is we take the committed pool of rewards, and we split it equally across the NFT owners. So this way, everybody that bought it's supported. It's let's say rewarded for the support, and I think it's only fair for this to happen. And then as we build the calculation, the reward service, and then they will be able to link it to devices, to wallets, to staking contracts, and so on. Yeah, and but this is coming next year at some point. We never had let's say a timeline, or we had a timeline, I think end of the last quarter this year, but I think it's hard to reach with everything going on, and we postpone it for next year. But I mean, if everything goes faster and easier than we anticipated, then of course we will be able to allocate resources and expedite this. At this point, I think as of right now, the owners of the NFTs are earning more than they were earning based on the calculations. So I think it's in everybody's interest to actually postpone this. We don't want to do this, but as of a strategy, but we have to do it, and this is the reward for again for being close to the project from the beginning and buying the NFTs from the beginning, and knowing these NFTs will be valuable. So I think it's a good compromise for everybody. As of the next round, of course, the next round will come once the rewards are calculated and everything gets fair around that aspect. Then we will be able to sell upcoming round of tokens. But until then, I think the focus would be on growing the community, and then opening. I mean, we want to use these NFTs, and this was the idea from the beginning, to foster the community. So let's have a vibrant community, and then we can open new rounds. I think it makes more sense. When this happens, to have it this way.
Yeah, to kind of open it up as the community grows. That definitely aligns. I appreciate that. Now, just one last question by Bogdan, and then we're going to get to some other ones posted by Kung Fu Panda. Is there a white paper? Oh, okay, that wasn't a question. Sorry about that. He did want to say, though, well done, Adrian, and congrats for the high performance and hard working for Apoina. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But going on to kind of Kung Fu Panda's questions, will the NFTs be into? I think that was answered in the previous question. How long can we expect to wait until a client will need the Eternity Cloud services so the nodes will start performing tasks? Is there a timeline on that?
Yeah, so if you look at the market exposure of such services and the market analytics, they say next year it's when this is coming up. Of course, it's a matter of marketing and sales and building up partnerships around the subject, which will drive usage of the product. The strategy is not to wait for the customers, but rather to go after them and tell them about how good the product is and onboarding them. Waiting for the customers to come and knock on our door, I think it's not. I mean, it will happen, but probably it will be too late. The point, the strategy is to go after them as soon as the market becomes ready and becomes. And this is again, we're looking at reports and analytics made by third parties. So we just align, as you maybe know already, we're part of the Confidential Computing Consortium. This is where all the companies discuss confidential computing adoption in the whole world. And this is where we stay in touch with people to onboard any customers or seek a strategy and build B2B relationships. And yeah, this is a matter of time. I cannot answer with a specific date and time or anything like that.
Of course, it's so hard in tech, to kind of have a timeline for anything that's being developed, because you have so many blockers that are outside of your control. Especially working with other networks, they tend to be the biggest blocker. I know that from experience. Moving on to another question by Kung Fu Panda. Will the ECLD token swap function be compatible between various blockchains, example, Polygon with Avalanche? Being that Eternity Cloud will be multi-chain, I think for the most part, I think Joseph or Johan, if one of y'all want to answer that.
Yeah, of course, the plan is to expand on multiple blockchains. However, we want to carefully take these steps. Why? The more blockchains we adopt, the more our operator networks get, let's say, isolated one from another, kind of. So when we take the steps, we want to make sure the blockchain we connect to, it's truly, let's say, a good choice, and we have a good reason to be there. It could be their community. Maybe we do something more strategic together. So these were the reasons behind, pretty much building another bridge. We can do it. We can do bridges across any other blockchain. But the point is to have it or do it where it makes more sense. I hope this answers your question. It's not a matter of technical, but rather of a business decision, because we have to maintain these nodes, and maintaining them has costs. So, of course, also pools, liquidity pools associated with each side of the bridge and so on. So that's why it's better to have less that bring more benefits than more that bring no benefits.
Much appreciated. For that third question, Kung Fu Panda, I don't think we can really kind of discuss the strategy going behind that. We don't want to, give that away to certain members of the community and not other, members, because that definitely is looked down upon. So, unfortunately, I don't think we can answer the third question right now. Have you considered a way to make it desirable after listing, excuse me. Unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to be able to answer that one. I believe for Kaiser, we did kind of go over how the mainnet works on both blockchain or Bloxburg and Polygon, or Blockchain and Polygon, excuse me. Let's see, and then on October 17th there'll be some unlocks. Yeah, again, this kind of goes into a strategy stuff that we can't really speak about right now. Unfortunately. I don't want y'all to think that we aren't seeing these questions. It's just some of these questions we can't answer just as a company. These questions wouldn't be able to be answered by someone like Microsoft, right? So we can't really answer them with everything that we've signed and all that. So don't think that we're ignoring you or we don't want to answer it. It's just we literally can't. As for social media pages, Hilla, I see your question about how about social media pages, TikTok, YouTube. We do have plans to kind of expand to maybe YouTube down the line right now. But as far as TikTok and things like that, we don't want to say no. We're not going to expand to those, or yes, we are going to expand to them. We are looking into kind of what suits us best for the demographic we're going after, right? And sometimes those demographics don't necessarily go use TikTok. YouTube is definitely something that we would love for, just to kind of speak on it a little bit. We would love for, our future ambassadors to kind of help us out with, get involved with, and everything like that, to really make it something. But, as far as like any current strategies or information that we can give you, unfortunately, we can't really give much. Like, we are looking into the best channels to kind of expand our presence on, though. That is being looked at 24/7 pretty much. Even when Threads launched, right? There was a lot of research that had to go into whether or not it was worth it. The consensus being that it wasn't, and rightly so, as we see 100 million users, falling off of that platform. So, yeah, we're constantly doing the research on this. So, anything about future marketing, future social platforms to use or anything like that, like, we are researching it. I have my finger on the pulse in terms of like what's going on socially in Web3 and decentralized social, so I definitely am always on the lookout for these kind of platforms. As far as any other questions, I missed, how much Matic do we need for one node?
Depending on how busy the Polygon network is, we did test. We run tests on their Mumbai network, and let's say one Matic would be enough for a year or so, or two Matics. Like, it's the Matic price is like 40-50 cents. So I don't think it's a lot of let's say expenses for just having the node check in. Now, when tasks are operating, there's additional transactions that happen with the results and everything. So let's say a very busy node might use much more Matic than that, but that can be quantified by setting up a price in ETNY tokens, or no, sorry, in CLD tokens, and to, let's say, to cover those expenses from the operator side.
Much appreciated. And I see one more question. Anything about listing, guys? Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to answer. Anything about price or anything like that, we will not be able to answer. Just a quick reminder. But one that I was kind of actually interested in myself, I'm trying to find it. I kind of lost it. Oh yeah, is there any plan to integrate generative AI concepts to Eternity Cloud, considering AI ethics for enterprises? This was
Yes,
asked by JK.
Yeah, this is what I meant in the initial opening, and the vision is basically the vision on the AI side is to have any sort of entity, either private or like enterprise or at smaller scale, doesn't really matter if it's big or small, confidentially process their own AI related information. And this is also generative AI related. The point at the end is, while you're doing the training and you work on the algorithms, you want to make sure you keep this information private. You don't want to share it with competition. And of course, you don't want to use big cloud service providers, because they're all into it as of now. So I hope we attract innovative and very brave minds to use this technology and increase competition in the end. And yeah, this is something we're looking forward. As of now, having Python as a method of running tasks on our ecosystem, it's where we start adopting the technology. Most of the generative AI models have a Python component, and we can go, anyone trying to adopt or looking into this can go from there, and this is where we start our research on this direction.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Always love questions about AI. It's such an interesting topic. It does look like that's kind of all the questions that I've seen, at least. If there's any others that anyone wants to kind of bring up last minute, now's the time, or forever hold your peace. Yeah, so we'll get some last minute questions. We'll just leave a few more minutes for some last minute questions, and then we'll start wrapping things up. Guys, again, I just want to say I think at peak we had like 82 or 83 members in here. That blows me away, guys. This is wonderful to have, a community coming from another platform to this platform in such numbers is really impressive. So yeah, when's the next community call? We're gonna try to hold a community call every month. This is something that we do have plans for. We don't want to spoil it, having one every week or bi-weekly. We want to kind of have our developer team focus on developing, and our marketing team on marketing, business development on business development. And then, at the end of the month, we want to wrap that up with a community update pretty much. Is this AMA recorded? Unfortunately, with Discord, they don't have an option to record internally. You do have to use a third-party resource like OBS or something. I believe there are, they're working on recording something for that. Any plans for Eternity Cloud in Africa? I'll tell you this. We can't speak on any strategies of where we're going to be kind of like opening up to, but the goal is to expand globally, right? So Africa, Asia, Europe, Americas, that's the goal, right? So we definitely, hopefully in the future that will be able to be answered a little bit more thoroughly. Let's see. All right, I think that's all the questions, guys. Awesome recorded. Will be shared on Telegram. Thank you for that. So yeah, if there's no more questions, I'll let Joseph and Alvaro and Yon kind of say their last words, and then they can kind of get on their way back to making Eternity Cloud, trying to develop that out and make it the best that it can be.
Thank you very much, Grizzly. Thank you for moderating this. I think it was a great experience being part on our own AMA in our community. I'm really impressed by the numbers, guys. How many of you guys showed up? I think it's a very good start of the campaign that's coming up upon us as we speak. Also, I want to congratulate the ambassadors, of course, and anyone that wants to be part of the project as we get close to the launch. I think we need to come together and have a good communication, because the strategy is already taken care of, but we need a good tactical kind of daily communication weekly, so we can push this forward and make it a great success.